Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn space science. Today, what happened to the ninth planet? And after we've done that, we're gonna do shoulder impingement training. And if you participate in the shoulder impingement training, that's at your own risk. What happened to the ninth planet? Pluto, the ninth planet, is still there, but it was moved down a class. So that rock where Pluto is still existing, but Pluto is no longer a planet. Pluto was listed as a planet until 2006, when it was decided that it was a dwarf planet after all. So Pluto was a planet until 2006, or classified at that, but when classified, I think, is it? But when the people said, no, it's not a planet, it's actually a dwarf planet. And so it's no longer 9 planets, that are now 8, but Pluto is still a dwarf planet. Dwarf planets are mostly round, but unlike planets, their gravity is not as strong. Okay, Pluto is also round like the Earth, or the other 8 planets, but its gravity is not strong enough to make it a planet. We had here in the last part, what is a planet? A planet is something which has gravity strong enough to pull in other large objects and to influence the path of our objects. So Pluto seems to be not strong enough to pull in other objects and to influence other paths. This means so that it is a dwarf planet because the gravitation is not strong enough of Pluto, and that means that dwarf planets share their path around the Sun with smaller objects. These objects include asteroids or the icy rocks of a Kuiper belt. The Kuiper belt is similar to the asteroid belt, but it is further from the Sun. Okay, there seems to be a Kuiper belt. Now I'm just going to show you the picture. I don't know what it is, but that looks a little bit like the solar system. Maybe what Sirius is going to be explained in a moment, but there seems to be the Sun, and I think that should be the Earth. It's a little blue there. Now here we see all these little rocks. That runs on camera. Now that seems to be such an asteroid belt or a Jupiter belt or what it was. And they are all going around the Sun. So this is a little bit, let's read on. The Jupiter belt is similar to the asteroid belt, but it is further from the Sun. So that seems to be the Jupiter belt, but far away from the Sun. And the first 5 dwarf planets found in our solar system were Ceres, Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. Other dwarf planets have also been spotted in the Kuiper belt. Okay, what does it mean? The dwarf planet Ceres is the asteroid belt. The dwarf planet Ceres is in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Okay, there's Earth, and then I think it's Mars and then Jupiter from the Sun. There's first Mercury and Venus. Mercury and Venus, and then Earth, and then Jupiter, and Mars, and then Jupiter. Now, that is here from the Sun. So there's the Sun in the middle of the solar system, and then maybe that is Venus, and that is Mercury, and then the Earth. The Earth is the 3rd planet from the Sun. And then further out there must be then Mars, maybe there, and Jupiter somewhere else. And there's an asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So there are lots of little asteroids, as we see it here. Now these big things, these are planets, like the Earth is one. And they all have gravitation, and they can pull things on and have influence on other things. But here's this asteroid belt. These are just many, many little rocks. Doesn't really come out of the camera. And these are just thousands of millions, I don't know, of rocks. And there's, for example, Ceres. Ceres is inside of us, a dwarf planet, which is inside of the asteroid belt. So Ceres, for example. There are the first 5 dwarf planets found were Ceres, then Pluto, Haumea, Makemake, and Eris. Let's read the sentence before that, which was also a bit complicated. And it means that dwarf planets share their path around the Sun with smaller objects. Yes, they're sharing their path with smaller objects, maybe because their gravitation is not strong enough to pull these objects to them. Maybe that is the reason. They're just traveling with other objects around the Sun. They don't have their own way, I think that's what it means. But I don't really get it because the Earth has the moon and so on. Is the moon actually visible? Maybe a little. And these objects include asteroids or the icy rocks of the Kuiper Belt. So somewhere is also the Kuiper Belt, and there are a lot of icy rocks. The first 5, okay. Now basically they told us what happened to the 9th planet, to Pluto. Basically nothing. The humans just on Earth decided it is no longer a planet because in 2006 the people said it doesn't have gravitation strong enough to pull things to it and to have an influence on the other objects around it. Dwarf planets are mostly round, but unlike planets, their gravity is not as strong. This means that dwarf planets share their path around the Sun with smaller objects. Now we will certainly in further parts of space science get more information why they just share their path with other asteroids. I think it has something to do with their gravitation is not strong enough and they don't have an influence on these asteroids around them, like Earth, and they cannot pull them towards it or have an influence to them that the asteroid belt goes somewhere else. Pluto is still there, but it's now a dwarf planet because the gravitation is not strong enough. Okay, that was the question, what happened to the 9th planet? Nothing. We just named it differently or classified it differently because the gravitation is not strong enough. If you were just here for space science, then you can go directly to the next video. We will do now short impingement training. If you participate in the short impingement training, that is the hardest. Good and stable stand, and we do forward shoulder circles. We go back, up, and in front, and down. And back. And one last time. And now backwards in front. Up, back, and down. Last time. And now, more advanced shoulder circuits. Long arms, strong fist, and go as far back as you can with the shoulders, as high up as possible, and then front, and down, and back, up, and front, and down, and now backwards. High up, back, and down, front, back, and down. Legs a bit wider apart, go to the knees, hinge forward with a straight back, let the arms hang, and pinch the scapulars together with effort. Now with fists, lift the arms up and still pinch the scapulars together. Lift the arms down and the shoulders. And again, pinch the scapulars together. Now with fists, lift the arms up and still pinch the scapulars together. Release the arms and the shoulders. And another exercise similar in the knees. Hinge forward with a round back this time. Let the arms hang. Make fists. Turn the arms to the inside. Lift the arms up. Bring the arms together. Straighten slowly up. Bring the shoulders down and together. Okay, now basically the arms high up and together. Shoulders down and together. Love it. And release. At the same time, into the knees, hinge forward with the round back, let the arms hang, make fists, turn the arms to the inside, let the arms high up, bring them together. Straighten slowly up, bring the shoulders down and together. Turn the arms high up and together, shoulders down and together. And release. And the next exercise, just lift the arms up. If this exercise causes pain, then don't do it. All we're doing is to observe what the scapulars are doing. And last time. Now the arms to the side and bring them in front. The scapulars are always following as a perfect socket the humerus. So the scapulars are going now to the side and now back together. Last time, the scapulars to the side, and now back together, the scapulars. And doing a little stretching, one arm in front, the shoulder is back, and down. Pull the arm in, have fat fingers, try to relax the arm, pick up it back with the shoulder. And the other arm in front. Shoulder is back and down. Pull the arm in. Have 5 fingers. Try to relax the arm and go back with the shoulder. And it was the shoulder pinch ready. I thank you very much and until next time.